Morning, guys. Just got done with my dentist appointment and heading back to work. I just want to ask, first of all, my dentist is actually Ukrainian, and I checked in with her today just to see how she's doing. And she's struggling. She's got family and friends from Ukraine. She came to the States when she was like 20, I think 25 or something, I think is what she said. So it's just difficult, and it's frustrating and all of those things. So just be praying for her and her family and her family that's still there, friends that are still there. Leadership. So yesterday, I was driving home. I finished up one of my leadership books that I've been reading, and it made me think a couple of things. One is, what are you reading to improve your leadership, to improve your just knowledge base in general? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a book on leadership, but you should be reading and filling your head with some knowledge, biographies, autobiographies, real life stuff. Not like I'm a big fan of like fantasy science fiction, so I read a lot of that too. However, I always try to mix in some useful real life stuff, and it doesn't always have to be leadership, but it's really good to read some books on successful people. And I know not everybody loves to read. Get it on tape. I do a lot of mine on Audible, and then just listen to it when I'm driving, especially with the amount of time we put on the road in the winter here. If you got an hour commute to work every morning, you could be knocking out a chapter or two a day just going to work. So I encourage you all to get into some reading, podcasts, whatever. Just gain knowledge from as many sources as you can on leadership, because there's a lot of stuff out there, and not every leader is the same, which is the second point I was going to bring up. In this last book, they were talking about how the old leadership model was that great leaders are good at everything. And I'm even guilty of that. Like, I've specifically said that. Like, if you're, I do believe that all of the brothers, all of the members of our crew should know how to do everybody's job. However, they shouldn't be experts at everybody's job. And I think that's where there might have been some confusion when I made the statement. But I do believe that everybody should know how to do everybody's job, because you never know when you need to fill in. But this book I was reading was really talking about how, like, one of the examples they gave was Best Buy. Best Buy made a shift in how they operate their stores. And what they did is they took 30 of their stores and had them target, each one of those 30 stores had to target a specific audience. And so, like, one store might have been doing soccer moms, and another store might have been doing real estate agents, and that was all they told them. They just gave them a target audience and let the employees figure out how to target them. And they saw their sales and everything just went through the roof, and their growth went through the roof. And so then they took that and they expanded it on to all of their stores. And in their field, Best Buy, when you come to electronics stores, like they're the store. They dominate that market, And that's part of the reason why, is that they look at their area, who's their, most prominent customer, specifically target that customer, and then everybody else, the overfill of it will cover everything else. So, and Overfill actually might have something to add to that, since he was a manager at Best Buy here locally. He might be able to attest to that. Some of the other things they did was, well, there was a lot of good stuff that they did. Anyway, the point is that the idea was find what you're really good at and hammer it. And that falls under Maxwell stuff too. Find what your best trait is, what your top skill is, and put all your energy into that. And you'll still want to put some energy into some of the other areas that you're weak in, but in Maxwell, his rule was it was the 80-15-5. So 80% of your time should be in the areas that your strengths are in. So that's what I got for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day and are recovering. Make sure you're praying for each other. Attacks always come the week or two after a big event like Midwest Gathering. So just keep that in mind as you're going through your walk, that you're probably going to have some spiritual attacks, and just make sure you're not taking that on alone. Reach out to each other, pray for each other, lean on each other. Love y'all.